Hello everybody, I'm NerdyGuy, and last Sunday there was a thunderstorm here. We've had a lot of thunderstorms lately for some reason, and in the middle of it my Xbox turned off and it wouldn't go back on again, so I was certain that my Xbox was dead. So to comfort myself from the fact that my Xbox was dead, turns out my Xbox is fine, by the way. It turns out it just needed to be unplugged for a while. I plugged it in later again to test it and it worked fine, so it's okay. But for a while there I thought it was broken, so yeah, to comfort myself I bought a game on Steam, and I bought The Wolf Among Us. Mainly because Telltale Games are praised by so many people, and I still haven't played a single Telltale game. And also because Telltale is making a Game of Thrones game, and I can't wait to play that shit. So I thought, well, I should play at least one Telltale game before that. So I bought The Wolf Among Us, and I played through it, and I thought, well, I can make a review of this. So, without further ado, here's my review of The Wolf Among Us. Now, the backstory of The Wolf Among Us is that there's a bunch of fairytale creatures, and they refer to themselves as fables, living in New York, and they have a little community they call Fabletown, and they live hidden from humans, and most of them have to use a spell called Glamour, which changes their appearance to look human, because some of the fables are not human, for example the Three Little Pigs, or Mr. Toad, or generally a lot of other animal-based creatures. So they have to use a thing called Glamour to make themselves look and appear human to humans. And it's just a safety precaution, so humans can't find them. They refer to humans as mundies, by the way. It's mundanes, or yeah. But basically, they live in Fabletown. They take care they solve everything internally, and they have a guy appointed as sheriff, which is Bigby Wolf, who is, well, literally the big bad wolf. Now, I don't know why they appointed the iconic bad guy as the sheriff, but for some reason they did. Now, they all originate from a place called the Homelands, and I had to look it up. This game is based on a comic book called Fables, by the way, so there's a lot of lore to the whole thing. But I looked it up, and apparently the Homelands I think it got invaded by some guy called the Emperor or something. I could be entirely wrong here. I'm sorry if I am, but yeah, it got invaded by some guy named the Emperor, and they all had to flee. So they fled to New York, where they live now. And that's where the game picks up, as Bigby Wolf is sent to an apartment complex where Mr. Toad called him because, well, the woodsman from Red Riding Hood, is causing hell in the apartment above. So you go in to stop that. And this sets into motion a lot of events that leads to women getting murdered, and you have to find the murderer, and the game is very detective-based. And now, we should talk about the character of Bigby Wolf, the big bad wolf. He is a very interesting character because he's, well, sort of like Wreck-It Ralph in the way that he's been the bad guy for so long, but he doesn't want to be the bad guy anymore. At least that's the feeling I got from it. Largely, how the character ends up, it's how you play him. You get to decide what kind of person you want to be. Like I said, the game is detective-based, and you have to be, like, you get questions like, you want to be a good cop, or do you want to be a bad cop? Like, do you want to try to reason with people, or do you want to beat the living fuck out of them until they speak to you? I tried to reason with them, but when that didn't work, I just beat the living fuck out of them. There's a part where you're at a club, and the club owner constantly lies to you. So I threatened to destroy a lot of his stuff, but he still doesn't budge. So eventually I just smashed the living fuck out of his DJ station with a baseball bat. Then he started talking to me. But, where was I? Oh yeah, Big Bad Wolf. At least that's the feeling I got from him. But he's trying to be the good guy. He's trying his best, but every now and then it just won't fucking work. Now, the graphics of the game, in my opinion, are pretty cool. I mean, I've mentioned on this channel I don't mind graphics. But it's worth mentioning, because the graphics here, they sort of look like a comic book. It's very much comic book-esque, if that's a word. I have no idea. Comic booky. But yeah, the graphics actually look pretty cool, so I felt like mentioning that. Now, when we get to the gameplay is basically built up in 3 stages. There is dialogue options, and you usually have 4 or 3, and silence being the 4th options. Options about what you want to pick. And what you pick will depend on what the characters in the game think of you, and what they think of you will affect the game. And you also get, like, sometimes you get, like, option like, you want to go here first, or you want to go here first. Usually you can visit both still, but you still need to decide, like, which place do you want to go to first. And some of them can really change the game. For example, I made the wrong choice in one of them, and a character ended up dying for it. Oops. But then there's also QuickTime events. And the first one of the QuickTime events caught me off guard, because I had no idea the game had QuickTime events. But so once you get the hang of it, it's pretty fun, and it makes a lot of cool action scenes. For example, there's one scene that I'm not going to spoil too much in episode 5, that is just monumentally badass, where you finally see Big Wolf's true form, which is like a mammoth-sized wolf. Fuck yes. That scene was fucking awesome. And the last gameplay style mechanic you find is when you actually get to walk around, you get to pick up items, look at clues, and whatever. Investigate stuff, basically. But mainly it's the first two. Or, well, first three, if you count the whole pick where you want to go, and yeah. Now, like I said, the choices you make change the story in different directions. I think that's pretty cool. I've been thinking about playing the game through again, just to make, well, different choices and see what happens, but I haven't done so yet. But, to come to a conclusion, what do I think about the game? The game was fun. However, it's not the best game I've played. I mean, I've played a lot of better games. I have games to play that I like more. I basically just played through The Wolf Among Us because I had to play through it because I bought it. I didn't want to leave it unfinished. I mean, I'm recently playing through the old Need for Speed Most Wanted game. The new one sucked ass, but the old one is so good, and I'm playing through that. And I wanted to play that, but I couldn't because my Xbox was broken. I thought it was broken. But, yeah. So this game, it's fun. I mean, it's well worth money. I paid 20 euros for it. So, I'm not complaining about that. The game was fun. It was worth its money. However, it was not much more than that. I mean, it was enjoyable, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. 7.5, to be fair. 7.5 out of 10. The game's worth its money, it's fun, but it's not much more than that. Now, there will be people raging about me saying that the game is great, then yeah, fine, that's your opinion. This is what I think about it. So, yeah, but if you have played the game, what do you think about it? Leave a comment and tell me what you think about The Wolf Among Us, and rate this video with a thumb up or thumb down, subscribe if you like my videos, and let's see what else. Oh yeah, look me up on Tumblr at NerdyGuyRanting.tumblr.com, and also add me on Xbox Live. My gamer tag is NerdyGuyRanting. I just changed it, so it's a lot simpler. It used to be SuperGherkin94, but now it's NerdyGuyRanting, which is a lot simpler. But yeah, that's about it. So I'm NerdyGuy, and you just watched NerdyGuy review a game. Bye!